Hey, everyone. This is J and A from the Let's Get Loud podcast and your hosts, J and A. A just had to go get her coffee, and I was like, I'm going to press play without you. And she goes, oh my God. But you know what? I wanted it to be a J show just for a few minutes. How are we all doing, everyone? You know what? Alicia and I are just living our best lives over here. Summer is here. Summer has arrived, and we're excited about it. And today, as we're recording, it is Dia's 9th birthday, which is just crazy, everyone. Just crazy. So how have you all been doing? I'm really planning on the pool's supposed to be open this week, which is really exciting. And the weather is like super nice. Hopefully when you're listening to this in a couple weeks, I think the weather will still be nice. I want the weather to be nice all summer long. I want more than 3 days in a row, but you know what? It is what it is. Hello,
Hi.
Alicia. I've said nothing, just that it was Dia's birthday, that the weather was going to be nice for a few days, and that we're excited that we're crushing our best lives over here. We're just doing it all.
We sure are. I'm sorry, guys. I started and then you can't relate to this probably, Jose, but I had too much creamer in my coffee. And
Okay. As in, that I have too much. Absolutely. They're never too much. Not a thing.
Not a thing. Tell me about Dia's. Okay, first of all, how cute is Dia's hair this morning?
Very cute. How terrible is next week's weather? Like, I can't even.
Don't look. Why are you looking?
Oh, I'm upset.
So it could change. It could change.
Ooh, not even one piece of sunshine. Not even one day has sunshine attached.
We're just gonna enjoy the next 3 days.
Yeah,
4
you're right.
days.
1 day at a time. I like that. The next 4 days, including today, let's just let's take it all in and then go with it. Okay. All right.
Okay, how cute's Dia's hair?
I love when she allows me to do that. I was like, maybe we could do bubble braids and I could spray the bubbles. And she's like, oh, what a great idea. Her hair is so nice. Like, she has such good hair, A dream. Thank you. Good, cute hair. Yeah.
I'm in a small depression about my hair.
Still?
I really am. You know what happens? It's like when you've been thinner and you scroll and see photos of yourself.
Okay.
And I often am looking for something. So I see photos of videos. My hair was so beautiful.
I know what you're saying.
It was so
It was, I mean, it still is, but I know what you're saying. I have no other words that I know what you're saying, but it's not about what you don't have. It's about what you do have, right?
You're right, Jose. You're right. Because my hair is beautiful. It's thick. It's curly. It's healthy.
Beautiful. Yes. So it is beautiful now. And it's like the thinner. I love that you brought that up. For me, when I looked at my pictures, I actually deleted a lot of those pictures that would trigger, oh, I look so thin there. And I was like, wait, I always need to remind myself of the lifestyle behind it or whatever. And for you, there's no lifestyle behind, there was no lifestyle that was different. It was just different choices that you made, but for your hair. But so I think that your mindset method would be just to say, it's not about what it's not. You know what I mean? So it's like my eyelashes are fine, but when I get a memory of my fake lashes, they look so good.
Oh, I can't believe your lashes right now are next level gorgeous.
I know what you're saying. There's something about the fake lashes that there's so much of them and it's so black, but there are still some pictures that I see myself and I'm like, wow, that was intense. Like, the lashes are intense.
Yeah, oh yeah, intense. Anyways, I had that moment and I needed to share that with you.
Here for it.
Tell me about yard yodels.
Okay.
Why did that make me cry?
Oh, Dia?
Yeah, watching her. First of all, I went to your Instagram this morning. I wonder if she posted Dia seeing the yard yodels. Like, I thought of that, posted, looked, and then I'm seeing tearing up. Not sure about Jeff's videography.
Oh, could you tell how I'm like, move, go closer. So I took over after the videos after are clearly made by me. I was like,
no, I didn't even see you or your body or whatever, but I knew from the videos. Sure, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, nope, not satisfied with his, go closer to her face. You can't even see her face. She was really surprised. It was really cute. Really, really enjoyed meeting them. The yard yodel girls.
Yes.
They were so sweet, next level, honestly. And just cool humans, cool moms, and just love their story. Really, really hoping for success for them. I think that they see it. It's been so good. And freaking insane. It's like so beautiful. I'm like sad that it goes away tonight, but I'm like, it's like it would be weird if it stayed longer.
Did you like design it all?
So what they did is just they asked me what she's into.
Okay.
And I said TikTok, figure skating. They must have had nothing about figure skating because they didn't bring anything. So I thought I told them like literally yesterday, I was like, figure skating, like I forgot. So dancing, girly things, pink. And they crushed it. No other.
They nailed it.
I want one, and I want it to be blue. And I was like, okay, buddy. He loved it. She really was like, wow, that's really pretty. I was like, I know. It's like almost like, oh, my dad, who's like, I don't know, right into like those things, like like he's very impressed. He was like, bello. They came last night while they were putting it on, and they're like, bello, this is impressive. Like that, never seen anything like that. Like, yeah, how much does that cost? How much is this? He's already like in the business, like whatever. It was like so. It was so good. Really, really happy for them. It's beautiful. What a good idea. Yeah. Especially graduations. I'm like, man. She's like, we're so busy. Like
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So I'm guessing winters that wouldn't work, huh? Never thought of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could still do it.
In the snow?
Sure.
Sure.
Why not?
Why not? I agree. I mean, let's be real. There's only 1 to 2 months max that we would have like snow staying. You know what I mean?
Really?
I don't know. I feel like it's just like awful. I'm not saying that the weather is nice. I'm just saying that it's awful. Like that it's like that there's that much snow, but it's friggin' cold and windy. 7 months a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good talk.
Okay. I actually have an obstacle for you.
Okay.
But I also don't want to forget next podcast, I need to ask you about your outfit to Jillian's birthday party.
Perfect. And I would love to also talk about Jillian's birthday party like beforehand. Like I want to go have supper with Jeff, but then I don't want to be dressed like I am. So I like want to go change out your house, but I'm also like, what are you guys doing? Do you guys want to come have supper? Anyway, so many questions.
Okay. So
guys, you think that we're like BFFs and we chat like this is when we chat about life. Literally on our podcast is when we don't chat about work. Like other than that, like, yeah, we talk to each other every single day, but it's always like work related or new things or like, you know what I mean? Like about work. And so this moment is when we talk about Dia's hair and yard.
It's so true. I actually love it so much because often we're together, we want to talk about these things, but then we also have to like work.
Exactly. And when we're together on the weekends, there's often other people.
Yes.
So we can't just be talking about us, like we're talking about them. And you know what I mean? So
we're right.
Okay. What's the obstacle do we want like that you were thinking of?
Okay. So this stemmed from a conversation I was having yesterday from someone about their own personal weight loss journey. And, I was asking them what their obstacles were. And one of them came up. She said, my family is not supportive. I need to make 2 meals. So those are almost like 2 separate conversations. But
same. It's like 2 separate beliefs as well, like 2 separate, 2 separate obstacles because you could have not support and then have nothing to do with 2 like meals. You know what I mean?
Let's choose one to talk about, and we'll talk about the other one on the next podcast.
Oh, I like that. Let's do support. Let's talk about like no support at home or friends or whatever.
Love that. Okay. So, as you guys are listening, I'd love for you to just kind of think to yourself, do I feel like I have support for my personal goals?
Yeah. Like, do I feel like I have support when I want to prioritize what I want? And I love the way you said, like, do I feel like I have support? Because it doesn't look the same for everyone. Like having support doesn't look the same for everyone.
That's the next piece is like, what does support look like to you?
Yeah.
Have you ever even defined what you need to feel supported to your spouse?
Yeah. Have you ever even have you ever defined it to yourself? And then it's like, have you ever even vocalized it or communicated that with your spouse? Do you think, fun conversation here. Do you think that women, I mean, it's 2023, we're getting somewhere, but that women still struggle to kind of get louder about prioritizing themselves? Oh my God, what's happening with your family of birds living in your home?
I think maybe the babies are grown because I don't hear anymore, but there was just like some hardcore shuffling.
They're making more babies. Babies are grown, time for more. You get what I mean? Like, I know I'm not living in 1974 where we all wear an apron and we, feed our spouse turkey every night. But like, that's the message. Like that's what I'm seeing. She's pretty, she's thin, she has a nice dress, and you see what I mean? Like just
she's
like
wearing heels and earrings.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
The kitchen.
I know that's no longer what we do, but I do feel like expectations are still towards the woman to kind of be at home and do the things, and the priority becomes the relationship with her spouse, and then the priority also is obviously the children.
Yeah, I think women in general are still always the default parent. Women are in general the ones that are still running the home.
Okay.
Which takes time, effort, and energy. And I don't know how do we, I don't think we can, I think women are still struggling to prioritize themselves, to take time and mental energy and resources, even like money. Like spending money on themselves, women are still struggling for sure to do that without guilt.
Okay, without guilt. I like that, because you can be doing it, but then you like aren't really enjoying yourself. I see. And I also like always leave space for like maybe some women, they don't care to go out with their friends, or they don't care to like whatever, and like this is all they want to just cater to their children and whatever. But I do feel like when you just like see the other side, like if you go and try and actually put yourself, I think they just don't even know where to start. Maybe like, where would you even start? Would you start with how your household eats, or would it be exercising, or would it be going out with your friends? Like, because you can't, like, everything can't be done. Like if you're someone that stays at home all the time and caters to your husband and kids, and then all of a sudden you're going out with friends, and you're at the gym, and you're like, it's going to be like a hard hit for everyone. So it's like little by little kind of like prioritizing time.
And that's the thing, like when you said how to start, is to just start. Is to literally just start with a small step that doesn't feel so scary, and then build on it. But I want to go back to like what support looks like, because, and I would love for you, like for you, what does it look like when Jeff supports you? So let's say you're trying to lose weight. Okay. What does that look like to you of Jeff, specifically your spouse?
Okay. So for me specifically, Jose, at this point, it really is about supporting me with the kids when I'm away, like going away at spin. So like, again, we're talking about me, right? And where I'm at in my journey would have been different 10 years ago, would have been different, what support would have looked like. So for me right now, it's just time is definitely a resource that is like strap, like it's like, like there's not a lot of extra time. And so when it comes to the kids, it's like having that, the support is conversations of like, when do you do that? When do I, like literally every day, it's like, this is what's happening today. What are you up to today? And kind of going through our day to make sure that we fit in everything that we want to fit in. He also wants to move his body. I need to move my body. Whether I have a meeting as well, like sometimes I have meetings at supper. Sometimes he has meetings in the evening. So support, it's not just about everything related to calorie deficit and exercise. It's literally just not feeling overwhelmed. So even if it is like meetings or whatever, that has nothing to do with weight loss, whether I have a meeting or not. But if I am not in a place in my relationship with my spouse where I feel like everything's like, okay, c'est tout c'était, that brings what? Anxiety, stress. And I think that makes people just feel like I'm overwhelmed. And often bottle of wine comes out, chips come out, because we're trying to feed an emotional lack of something, So it's almost like the support can really help you in so many ways, because it's stress-free. It creates a household that is like, c'est baronné là. And for me, that would be it. Just making sure that the two of us, that I don't feel like I'm doing more, or the opposite, that we're both kind of just doing our thing. And it's not about like minutes, like I'm doing more tasks. It's I don't feel like I'm doing more.
It's about having a teammate.
Yes. Yeah.
For you. Yeah. That's what support looks like.
That's what support looks like for me. I don't need him to eat like me. I don't need him to not eat chips in front of me, which I know that would be what people would say. So that's why I wanted to make sure this is how I see support, is Jeff supporting me in just saying, yes, you do your things that make you happy.
And that's what I wanted to kind of ask, because often, when we hear from people, you not being supportive as basically just eating chips
Differently.
around them.
Yeah, eating differently as well.
Eating differently. So when you right now, you guys are years and years, and Jeff eats his chocolate muffin and his Ritz and peanut butter.
He stopped his chocolate muffin 2 weeks ago.
Why?
Well, I mean, Buddy
Pants don't fit?
25 pounds. Yeah. And I was like, this is your choice, buddy. You either buy a whole new wardrobe where you weigh 200 pounds, or you lose like a good 5 to 10 pounds to just your closet still fits. It's just you can actually like
tie your
own shoes and not have me to do it because your pants are so tight. So he decided to want to try to be in a deficit for a little bit and just see what that looks like. And he's cutting out that one. And I'm like, it's so this is me. You used to eat that every Monday when you were so thin.
Yeah.
But he's like, yes, but those aren't nutritional. Good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, I see. He's like,
that's prioritizing protein and
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I love his no drama approach to a calorie deficit.
Okay, so but let's say go back when you were actively trying to create weight loss for yourself, and maybe when you didn't have as like your relationship with food is like incredible, you have an abundance mindset, like you that's you in the present, but that wasn't always you. Yeah. Back then, would you have been like upset with him if he's eating in front of you?
Yeah, because we've been together without kids, right? So what was support when we were 20? Right. For me, support, if I go back, I mean, we don't remember everything, but if I go back, it's never been about eating the same as me. I never and I've always been such an advocate for fucking eat what you want. Like, you know what I mean? Like I advocated for that so much in my life, starting when I was 13, that there's no way that I would expect someone else to be eating like me or whatever. Support for me is never making me feel bad. It was that, and it still is that, but now everyone in my life, like I've just been doing what I do for so long, but that would have been it. Do not make me feel guilty for any of my choices or whatever. So for him, for a while, you guys, I wasn't going out on Friday nights. Remember, like I wasn't doing all of that. And so sometimes we would be invited on a Friday night and he'd be like, Jose doesn't go out on Friday nights. Like he would say that to his friends, like Jose doesn't go out on Friday nights. Can we move it to Saturday? Like, what about Saturday night? Whatever. So he's always been like just supportive of like whatever I was doing to feel successful.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. And I also have never, and Neil and I had quite a different kind of, journey, let's say, because, we were eating and doing all the things together. You know what I mean? Right. It would be like, hey, Neil, stop on your way home from work and get me a cookie and a chocolate milk.
Yeah, that was, you can really relate to people feeling like they're, because you both were overweight. You want to change paths. He does not. So it's like Jeff and I's story is a little bit more calm, less drama. Your story could have been more dramatic. Like,
and it wasn't because I never expected him. I cannot expect my spouse to change to support me, like especially something so massive as what you're eating in your health journey. Like that is such a personal journey. So when I decided I was going to lose weight, the only thing that I asked of him was his support. Like you're saying, like if I say I'm going to go for my walk, please support me in that. If I say no, I don't want a cookie, please support me in that, and know that my intentions are to build the best life that I can for myself. And he's always been like that. And he still eats chips on the couch. And that's not Neil eating chips on the couch is not him not supporting me.
I wanted to have that conversation and not to be like kind of harsh with our listeners, but like, I'm sorry, you guys, like if support for you is that your husband eats the way you want to eat, or I find that very unfair to your spouse. And I feel like it's important that we say that that is not reasonable. That is not a reasonable expectation of your spouse. Your spouse is just another human that you are supposed to love and respect. And they're just there. Like you guys are creating a life together. And the way you guys eat, or the way, like you can have the same values, but not like have the same taste. Like you are still two different humans. So I just feel like that it just support and respect is really important. And if they can respect what you're doing and not roll your eyes, I think that when people tell me that their spouse like either makes fun of them or rolls their eyes at them if they say no to chips, that is making you feel bad. And that is not okay.
I agree.
And I've had like conversations that I remember like crying. And I think Dia since then has been like, so they were making fun, they were being rude to me, Dia and Jeff, about me, how long I am gone at spin. Cause it's like, oh, well, she drives there. It takes 50, she needs to leave 15 minutes. It was like last year.
Dia and Jeff were?
Yeah, and Jeff. And I was just emotional that day.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not okay. Like, this is what you guys are doing is not okay. I am allowed to go to spin. The rest of my day is to serve you. Like, let me go do this. Like, no one, do you need me right now? I just like asked you what you guys want for supper. I gave you food. The food is in the fridge. I am the one that brings that. Like, you have everything that you need, like your primary freaking things that you need. They have been taken care of. And like, I'm leaving you with an adult. And I was like, no more of this. Or do you guys listen to me? And they were like, and then after that, like, no more comments. We do not. And they're like, we're just kidding. And I'm like, you're making me feel bad. And I deserve not to feel bad. When you are invited somewheres and you leave me, I'm not like, oh, I'm happy for you. You're doing something you love. And then I just feel like that was like clear. And it was really good after that. But that was like an awkward moment in my family that we needed to have a talk. But I mean, if you can't have a talk with your spouse and your kids about like how we respect each other and how we like don't make others feel bad for things they like to do, I think then what are we doing? You know what I mean? It is important that we have those conversations.
Absolutely. And that's my tip. That's my tip for you guys.
Yeah.
First of all, if you are feeling like you are not being supported by your spouse, your children, your mom, your dad, your coworkers, you need to start to define what success looks like for you from those people.
Yeah.
Pause to take a moment.
What support looks like for
what support looks like, and pause to say, is that reasonable of me to ask?
Yeah.
Like, we can't ask that your coworkers stop bringing in treats to like,
yes,
it's just not reasonable.
That's not reasonable. Yeah.
You have to think, is this a reasonable conversation? Obviously, there's always compromise when it involves another human being, but then have the conversations.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot expect your mom to support you when you go visit if you have not told your mom what support feels and looks like to you and why you're seeking it.
Yeah. And know that this is a journey, you guys, and it will take multiple visits to your mom until you might see a difference in the way she's speaking around you or the amount of food she buys. Like, guys, I'm at my mom's every single day. And only like in the past 4 years has she been better with portions and how much she like, because I'm like, Mom, why are you creating so much food? No one's eating it. And then I'm eating it before it goes in the garbage. Stop making so much food. Like, there's so much to waste, right? And then she'd be like, who wants a burger? And she counts the burgers and then twice that. And I'm like, why are we doing twice that? Because then I'm eating it. And I'm like, I know it's not her fault, but I'm like, it was something that was just driving me insane. Like the amount of food she makes every time. You know how I am. I want basically the exact amount. That's also, I'm crazy. But like, it's just like, and then now I see a difference in her not just making so much. And it helps her as well. I'm like, you're also consuming all of these, like, we're eating so much every single time. And like, there's a reason I was 220 pounds when I'm 12. Like, the woman can just create like so much volume, anyways, but like, let's say for you, it's like your mom just like is being rude. Like, I think that's a lot of people's obstacle leash. Like,
what's funny?
Stories, and I'm like, well, that's not okay that your mom is making fun of you and your spouse.
It's really common that people define their spouse as not being supportive if based on what the spouse is eating in front of them. Yeah. And I think people would define their mom not being supportive as what their mom is saying about it. Do you know what I mean? It just shows you the difference in the relationship.
So right. And it's because you're not with your mom all the time, and what they're eating does not affect you.
But you know what? My mom is a lot, and sometimes it's not even about food, but before our visit or before she visits me, I'm like, hey, we're going to have a talk. Okay. We're not going to talk about this, or we're not going to do this. And she respects that so much because it's like, you're coming into my house. This is how I need you to support me.
Yeah. No, I think yes. And I think that's why we have great relationships with our moms. You know what I mean? And it just still shocks me sometimes of like how we're still as women not louder, not talking, not communicating our needs. I'm like, why aren't you saying something? Like, in my mind, I'm like, you saying, hey, this is really rude and hurting my feelings. And you're afraid of like, what's going to happen? He's going to leave you. Your mom's going to abandon you because you said like, no, you should have abandoned them for them talking to you this way. Like in my mind, I'm like, no, like we need to realize that we are in control of how people treat us. Yeah.
We need to set, you guys, you need to set boundaries.
Yeah.
And if you set a boundary and then don't follow through with it, you can't ask that person to respect that boundary. Like you said, it's going to take a while.
Yes.
You need to, like, speaking to people of what you want when you're trying to make change, you need to show them that you're making the change. And then eventually they stop asking or they stop commenting. They just see it as who you are. But you can't expect them to all of a sudden just change because you said you were going to change.
Yeah.
Show them
and catch anything that you want the narrative to be different. So if someone's like, oh, here she goes again, trying to lose weight. And you're like, you know what? Yeah, I am. And I really am taking a different approach. I'm learning right now. Oh, did you lose weight? It's not all about weight loss. And after a while, you guys, no one comments anymore. But it does take time. So is the support physical support or emotional support? What are you looking for? Okay. And I think that physical support, that's a tough one for me. Like if you need your friend to go for a walk with you to go for your walk. And if she doesn't, then it becomes like a thing that she did not create accountability for you. That's not okay. That's not reasonable. And also it's not sustainable. It's not you taking charge about who you want to be.
Guys, no one is coming to save you.
No one is coming to save you.
This life that you're building right now is your sole responsibility. It is not your spouse, your kids, your friends, your coworkers. It is yours.
Ça t'appartient. Ça t'appartient parce que c'est ton bonheur. Like you're literally chasing happiness for yourself. And that is all on you. Like no one else is involved in this. This is you creating that for yourself. And so you need to prioritize it and you need to value it. And it's 1, 2, 3, go. There's no magic to it. It's literally just, okay, I'm ready to step out of my comfort zone. And, I feel like, I've had a few, cause we are, chatting with people in our DMs. I've had a few people, they're like, let me chat with my husband and I'll get back to you. Now I understand. Yeah. Do you have that? And I understand that because I am, let me chat with Jeff and I'll get back to you. I am that person. Okay. But when it comes to this, I'm like, what part does he have? Is it the money? If it's the money, I understand money is money if you're in a couple, in a relationship. But at the end of the day, if you're just like, listen, I really want to lose weight. What kind of support are you looking for your spouse? That would be a great time to talk to your spouse. I'm embarking on this journey. It's about mindset. I feel sad sometimes. I feel broken sometimes. Tell them how you feel. And then be like, I'm not doing this because I'm going to melt and look hot for you. I'm doing this because I want to finally prioritize myself. That I understand. And I know that and it's not a lot of people that are like, let me chat with my husband, but it's no big deal. I would be the one that would be chatting with her husband. But for me, it would be more like, I'm thinking of this, when I embark on something like the coaching, I obviously talked to Jeff before, like, I'm not like, I'm like, I really want this. I think this is good. I think this is really appropriate for what I want to accomplish in my life. And it's not trying to convince them. It's just more explaining what you're embarking on, because it will probably affect the dynamic for a little bit, right? It affects a little bit. So, but I do hope that you're asking for emotional support from your spouse and not physical support. Like, you want to do this with me? Like I don't think that's a good way to do it, you guys.
It's got to be you.
It's got to be you. Then you start, and then your spouse kind of likes it and is like, oh, wow, I really see a difference in you. I'd love to also like embark. And then you can teach them something. I think that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Okay. So come and talk to us in our DMs. We do love, if ever, tell us a bit more about the support that you want or that you have. We always love to hear more about our listeners. And with that, this is it, you guys. Have a great day and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.